What's going on, everybody? Matt Manduke here. I am actually at Wharton State Forest, Attison recreation area. There is a lake here, which you can see there. And I don't know that this is really a hiking trail, but I'm going to take it anyway because I have a weird day ahead. So I'm just going to,
walk a little bit at least.
There's Pinelands Adventures, and they're kayaking. I actually have a video of them, which you can see here. I will end up turning the camera around, showing you guys what the trail here looks like, since I am actually on a trail. I believe it goes around the lake. I have been here before, but I've never actually done this trail, so I wanted to do it as a live stream. But the Wharton is a large pine forest. There's some burls in that tree there, and they're actually sprouting. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and turn that around so you can take a look at that. Sprouting burls on a pine tree makes it look fuzzy all the way up. Can't see it too well because of the lighting. Maybe I can get around the other side. I get excited about, horticulture. Like I said in the video that I did of the blue side of the Morris River Bluffs, I enjoy trees and the knowledge thereof of trees. Pine trees are actually wonderful things. If you're ever stranded in the woods, they don't taste good, but they will keep you alive.
Good appetit.
Alright, so it says the park closes at 6. That gives me about an hour and a half before I have to find my way out. So if I get to be too far on the trail, then I'll have to... Oh, there's a little stream that runs through here. And there's those people that I was talking to.
I don't like human beings.
So today was the day that I was supposed to do things. I was supposed to create the rig for the kayak to go on top of the van. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put the bed in the van. I might sleep up here. I don't know, though. Tomorrow's a good day for that because it's not supposed to be quite as warm. It is absolutely gorgeous out today. And so what I needed to do today, because today is such an odd day for me. Oh, isn't that just picture perfect? With the houses in the background. It's almost worth sketching. Almost. I might do it. I don't know.
It's sometimes better not to know one's fate. What
I needed to do today was get out in the woods and really feel nature. And of course, because I'm in the woods, I'm going to bring you guys so you can see what Attison Lake looks like. Born a fire. They do schedule burnings, but sometimes the woods burns down. And pine trees do really well with that. That's the information that is on the trails is very interesting to me. In many cases, I've learned things off of that information. Today is just a weird day for me. I don't want to go into why today is a weird day. There's a split here. I'm going to go ahead and go right because the closer you are to water, the more alive the vegetation is. It is a weird day for me, but it is definitely hitting my heart hard.
I feel like somebody took my brain out and boiled it.
And I'm sure I'll get into it at some point. But I wanted to do it as a live stream, but I'm in a pine forest, so I really can't. The biological timeline actually talks about how the bog here grew and whatnot. Isn't that cool? It's a hell of a lot better now before the bugs really kick in. But, hey, that's actually fairly beautiful. But yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I was supposed to do today, but I needed to get out in the woods. I needed to feel nature. I needed to feel this cool breeze that is passing. It's like 75 degrees. It is sunny. It is beautiful. I'm not going to film the whole trail, but I wanted to get out here and give you guys at least a sample.
Still wondering how I ended up here.
That is inkberry, which is what the sign says. Alright, so not far from where I dropped off is this nice opening that comes to the lake, where you can, see the lake. It seems like a nice spot where if you were kayaking the lake, you would actually be able to stop and maybe, cook lunch or do something like that. I don't know about having fires here because, well, we were in the Pine Barrens and that it's generally fairly dry and pine needles are like gasoline. But it's a nice view of the lake. It is fairly open here. I could go to the other side, which you might be able to see it a little bit. The building over there and the light sand, that's actually where I parked at. Yeah, let me see if I can't head over there. There's a teddy bear or something on the tree here, which isn't very cool, but I need to look where I'm going. I'm walking through the bushes and I didn't wear bug spray today. Yeah, so from here you can actually see the building which, like I said, that's where I parked, and that's how far I've walked around so far. It is a fairly big lake, so I probably ought to get my ass moving, because if I don't make it in time, I may have some troubles in getting out. The park closes at 6, which is early for these months. Cause
Are you losing your mind?
Alright, so this is actually an interesting spot. It's a bit of a bog. There is some oil on it, which creates an incandescent look on the water, which is fairly interesting to me. It makes a U-turn and you head back through the forest, which I think this is going to lead to where I had the opportunity to split, because this says the blue trail. I don't know. I thought I stayed on the blue trail, but I don't think that I should go for, there is a further trail, but I don't think I should go for it, because the time the park closes and the time the sun sets, the lake is actually rather large.
There's no laughing matter.
I don't want to get stuck out here at night, because all I have is my phone for a flashlight, and I'm not familiar, so plus the forest here is actually fairly dense, which I appreciate that during the day, but at night that could be problematic. As you can see, they have these little benches over here, which they have them periodically throughout the entire trail. If you need to take a break, you can just sit down and chill the hell out, because that's what's there. Maybe this isn't the most ideal. Here's another information thing that tells you about the leather leaf, which is actually the bush that grows along the side here. Well, I imagine they feel like leather, but I don't need to touch them to find out. I have touched them before, and I think they do kind of feel like leather.
I do it everywhere! Stop shaming me!
This is actually a much more grown trail that I've been on in other parts of Wharton. A lot of them, they're not called the Pine Barrens because they're full of life. But this area is actually full of life, and I find that quite interesting because pine is known to stop other vegetation from growing. So when we look out at this forest here, which is all entirely pine, the fact that there's some shrubs and whatnot that's growing with it means that the ground underneath of the pine is not sand yet. And I say yet because pine actually changes the pH level of dirt and will turn dirt into sand over time. They almost look like flowers. I would pick them, but I now have a gaping hole where I used to give flowers away. They are flowers over there. I just don't have anyone to give them to anymore. Now, shortly after there, yes, this is actually where the trails split, because the two of them go that way. I had originally went that way. This is the way I came from, and so that goes out to the little place where you can see the building and all that. So I'm going to head back this way, because that'll actually lead me back where I'm going. I got a later start than I wanted to today, so I'm not going to push it too much. But also what can be found here is you can find them at many state parks. There are campsites which range all over the place. I've actually camped in a couple different spots in Wharton, Bodine Field and Godfrey Bridge. You also get some public bathrooms, and there is a children's park at the Attison Recreation Center. I believe at the Batstow Center it's mostly just the historic village, which I will at some point do a video of, but it has not happened yet for the couple times that I've been here. I don't know why.
Because I was working.
Doesn't really make sense, but it seems like the playground is fairly cool. And if you take your kids for a hike and they still got a ton of energy, then you could let them play on the park and let them really burn that energy out.
He couldn't be safer.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around and give you your outro.
It's for later consumption.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will continue to enjoy this. So click that subscribe button. If you want to see what other videos that I have and other adventures that I've been on, you can go ahead and let Google pick that out for you. As always, guys, I want to thank everybody for watching. I'll see all my friends later.
Class dismissed.